My name is Katherine Garrett-Cox. I'm Chief Executive Officer of GIB in the UK, based in London.
This year's summit theme explores the value of corporate governance. What are your key takeaways from this year's Chairman Summit?
So my key takeaways are how very much the focus is on embedding environmental, social and governance factors across the corporate value chain. And I think this is incredible to see. I've worked in finance for nearly 30 years. I've been coming to the region for a few years now, and I'm really pleased to see how high up the register this is.
While so many organizations are still focused on finance, making money for their shareholders, how can corporations achieve long-term value now and in the future?
Well, I think it really comes back to the key theme of the summit in terms of if you embed good corporate governance, if you embed it in your culture, ultimately everyone benefits. Your shareholders will benefit because your business will do well, but most importantly, people within your business will feel truly engaged, and I think that's really what makes a difference.
So how can companies then avoid the pitfalls of short-termism? What role can board directors play in addressing that?
Well, I think ultimately the role of board directors is to hold the organisation to account, but also, as we've heard this morning, to really help the organisation in its journey, both around strategic development, but also, as I said before, touching on this key cultural point, because only then can you create something that really has a real benefit for society as a whole on a long-term basis.
So how have you embedded value creation in your organizational strategy?
Well, so actually this is something that at GIB we've been thinking a lot about over the past couple of years. So we've embedded it across both environmental, social and governance frameworks. For instance, we've become signatories to the United Nations Principles for Responsible Investment. We're also supporters of the Task Force for Climate-Related Financial Disclosure. So we're getting it really engaged across it. And the most important thing I would say is that the level of engagement from our team, from our employees, has been extraordinary. So everyone feels that we are unified into the same mission of really creating progress towards sustainable development.
That's really exciting. Okay, and lastly, my last question for you. Can you please share with us some examples of how your organization is working towards meeting your ESG goals?
So environmental, social and governance factors are very much embedded at the heart of our asset management strategy. We're thinking constantly about how can we bring investment solutions to engage people at a much broader level across all spectrums on this topic. So from an environmental perspective, actually we've had real engagement from our employees. So for instance, we've done away with single-use plastics, we've moved completely to recycling. We're thinking a lot about our energy use, our carbon footprint. On a social side, we've got a number of different activities around volunteering and philanthropic missions. And from a government's perspective, I mean, it runs across our board agendas for thinking about board effectiveness surveys, culture audits. So we've done lots of different things, but I would say in combination it leads to a much more rewarding place to work, and ultimately somewhere that we believe value will truly be created.
Thank you.
Thank you.